Don't deceive yourself. Trust your gut. You know something ain't right with the Teamsters. Hoffa has got to go. Of course, his groupies will say keep Hoffa because they get to keep their pensions and their health insurance, while some Teamsters can barely afford Obamacare. Allow me to expose the uncomfortable truths about Hoffa and his monarch. Why you should vote Hoffa out. Number one, if reelected, he will have served 23 years, the longest reign in American history in a Democratic election. Even the leaders of the free world only get 2 terms. Number two, his network is obviously corrupt. Not even 1 year after the IRB withdrew their oversight from the International, his running mate Rome Alois and his executive assistant Willie Smith are under investigation. We have Sam Drake live at the scene. Teamsters, this just came in. A disturbing new development in the Hoffa's corruption scandal. Running mate General Secretary Karen Hall under investigation with the feds in his attempt to hide his and Hoffa's direct connection to running mate VP at large Rome Alois and executive assistant Willie Smith. This is not good for Ken Hall's career, nor for Hoffa's campaign, being they are trailing, and contender Fred Zuckerman and Teamsters United are in the lead by 74%. Teamsters are encouraged to vote for Teamsters United slate immediately to purge corruption from the union. Overnight your ballots, deadlines at November 14th. I'm at ground zero, keeping you posted as this story develops. Sister Grace, over to you. Thanks, Sam. Be careful out there. Now back to our regular scheduled program. With the feds for bribery, extortion, fraud, among others. See, the government may be slow, but they're thorough. When those indictments start coming down, they both are gonna sing like a cheap, drunk parrot from Pelican's Bay. Number 3, Teamsters getting fired left and right. Membership is dwindling. Locals caving in. Hoffa brags about progress. What progress? Those contracts are weak and skimpy. They're like cheap shoes. After a few uses, they are no good. Some Teamsters are scraping from the bottom of the barrel, some on welfare, living check to check, working 60 to 80 hours just to pay their high-yield deductibles and their union dues. Number 4, pensions under his watch are disintegrating up to 70%. If you think that's bad, 40 to 45-year Teamster retirees have to go out there and picket to save their pensions. Why under his watch? See, turns out Hoffa is an attorney that's an economics major. He has unfettered access to the bureaucrats in the halls of the White House. He sits on the advisory committee for trade policy and negotiations, the committee that are responsible for foreign trade deals, all of which are partly sending jobs overseas. You're familiar with the Trans-Pacific Partnership? Yep, there you have it. Number 5, still can't believe it? Well, okay, there's a wise saying that says, don't be surprised if the poor of a country are abused and injustice denied. After all, the lower officials must do what the higher officials want them to do. See, look at the food chain. All upper leadership support Hoffa. The rank and file membership support Zuckerman. So they bully and silence outspoken Teamsters. So as long as Hoffa's in office, they get to keep their benefits. Yeah, they sleep good at night because they're protected. But here's the thing. Some of them might say, oh, no, I'm not corrupt. I'm not like them. Well, if you see what's going on and you turn a blind eye, you ain't no different from them. You just as rotten to the core and trust and believe what they got coming. Willie Smith don't look like he want to spend time. He gonna throw everybody under the bus. Number 6, the upper leadership just stopped fighting. It seems like the chief stewards are the only ones that perform miracles. Because if they send that grievance to step 3, it's a wrap. I've heard horror stories where business agents don't even put up a fight. They sit quietly in the grievance hearings. Some of them don't even return your calls. And get this, Ken Hall dropped the ball on his own local in West Virginia. Turns out that an overwhelming vote was passed to make that state right to work. What a crying shame. Negotiations are pretty much free giveaways. And subcontracting is infecting all the Teamsters contracts. The subcontractors are taking jobs and violating seniority. Number 7, Hoffa Slate is just as stale and outdated as he is. Just riding out the clock to retirement. While the majority of the rank and file members are not protected, tucking their tails, and are on government assistance while paying union dues. Wake up. He's not audacious like his father, Jimmy Hoffa, and does not care anymore because after 18 years, you just get tired. This is a membership, not a marriage. Vote Hoffa out. Stop listening to them groupies that got a pension and health insurance because they not going to walk in your shoes. Harriet Tubman once said, I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if they knew they were slaves. Knowledge is power, and when you know better, you do better. Let this truth set you free, because it's insanity to keep voting Hoffa in term after term after term, expecting different results, because you're not going to get them. We need a change, and we need you to support. Vote for Fred Zuckerman and Teamsters United, because Fred stands with the people, by the people, for the people. If you have not gotten your ballot, please call the International Election Department at 844-428-8683 immediately and request a replacement ballot. The ballots need to be in by November 14th. I highly recommend you spend that extra money to overnight it. But please vote for change. Vote Fred Zuckerman and Teamster United.